Hey guys, Brian and PS4 Trophies, and I'm not going to make trophy guides for Eagle Flight, but I do want to tell you why I like this game, why it's my favorite VR game. And I'm going to start doing this more often where I just take a game and maybe do an impressions video as I'm doing here. Now, Eagle Flight takes place in Paris, and it's a very large map, and it is a beautiful, gorgeous map. And the VR on this is phenomenal. It's not going to look like much looking at this YouTube video here in 2D, but when you're playing this in virtual reality, it is absolutely stunning. Now the controls are completely done with your head, and you tilt your body and you tilt your head in order to control your Eagle. Now you use the DualShock 4 controller to do your speed. You can do L2 to slow down, R2 to speed up, and then you can hit square to send out a shriek, or you can hit the circle button to do a shield. So you use your DualShock 4. Now, as you see, I'm doing some of the missions here. There's just a standard kind of go through the rings, and you have to go through the center of the rings in order to get a speed boost. Here's another story mission where you're going to have to destroy other birds here. You're going to deal with falcons and bats and the sorts like that. So it does have a story mode. It's a relatively short story mode, but it's pretty fun. Now it's kind of a big open world thing, and it's like any other Ubisoft game where you have to kind of go to each area, do the tasks, and then there's collectibles in each area. Speaking of collectibles, here's one of them. It's a feather. There's also fish as well. So each area, neighborhood, or whatever you want to call it, has feathers and fish that you can collect. Now here's another mission. This is an expert mission, and this is where Eagle Flight gets very difficult. And everything is based on a star rating at 1 to 3 stars. And this is I think a 3-star run. And you can see it's very fast, and you have to navigate using your head to steer very tight corridors and tunnels. And it's going to take several attempts to even just kind of learn the path, because it all comes up on you real quick. But they are a lot of fun. This is kind of some of my most fun gameplay, and I'm shocked that this is actually the only VR game where you have a fast movement like this, where I don't get any sort of motion sickness at all, not nauseous or anything. I can play this actually for extended periods of time, and it's so beautifully rendered in VR, and it looks so real. It's just one of my favorite games on VR. In fact, it is my favorite game. I like Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, Job Simulator is pretty fun too. There's a couple others as well. So I highly recommend it. If you have a PSVR, consider picking up this game. Now, it's not cheap. A lot of the PSVR games are not cheap just because they have to make up the cost of development, knowing there is a smaller player base. So there you go. That was one of the runs through the catacombs under Paris. 3 stars. It was not easy, but that's what makes this a fun game. This is an actual game. This isn't just an experience. This is a fully fleshed game. And it does have multiplayer, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. And as a trophy hunter, I am absolutely disgusted, but that's the one big strike on this game. Flying above Paris here, nighttime, collecting some more feathers. Feathers are actually, there's a lot of feathers. There's over 100 of them, and a lot of them are inside of buildings and tunnels. I mean, they're pretty hard to find. But here we go, we got some flooded tunnels here. And on these, just like the previous run we did in the catacombs, you're going to want to use the airflow. You'll see the air, and you want to use that to help you gain acceleration. We're going to get one right here, a little air drift. Now this has multiple paths, a lot of these. There's this upper path here, which is a very tight, twisty-turny tunnel. There was another lower path that is much safer. So if you just want to get through the story, you can do that. But if you want 3 stars, you're going to have to take some of these shortcut paths. And as you can see, that's a very twisty and turny. This probably took me about 15 attempts to even be able to pull this off. Just more kind of learning the path. That's kind of going to be crucial. Also, when I was first going through here, I wasn't slowing down. During some of those tunnel sequences, I do slow down. So there's a tip for you. You don't always have to hold the R2 button down at all times. But the controls are very precise. Your head tracking is, I'm really impressed with it. It's definitely one-to-one motion tracking for this game. And we're getting close to the end here. I think this is 3 stars. So yeah, there we go. 1 minute and 14 seconds. So I really do like the variation of the story missions. Now, as I mentioned, there is multiplayer. Now, here's from the nest, where you can select story mode. You can see your progress there on the left through story mode. You have free flight if you just want to fly around the city. And then there's online match. Now, this is where it gets a little suspect. Now, the online portion is amazing. If you can find a game with 3-on-3 multiplayer, it is fantastic. Unfortunately, it's hard to find other players. I sat here for a few minutes. Nobody joined my game, so I was unable to play, unfortunately. Now, yesterday I was able to play, and it was just one-on-one. I was only able to match up with one other person. So if you're going to go after the online trophies, you're going to probably want to boost this with a friend. You guys can both do matchmaking at the same time. You'll be paired up with each other. Now, the online is really easy. You just get the prey, which is in the purple circle, and then deliver it to the yellow circle. It's as simple as that. This is basically a capture the flag mode. Now, you're going to want to attack the enemy, the eagle. You're going to use the square button to send out a sonic blast shriek. He's got one coming towards me here. And then it's kind of a race to pick this up, and then you got to try to fly it to your nest. Now, you do have a shield. I hadn't actually unlocked the shield when I was playing this match. It gives you a short time invulnerability. But here is a really kind of the method I see a lot of the online games. As soon as someone picks it up, you shoot them before they drop to the nest, and then you're going to be right there, so you can easily drop it off. Now, the problem I have with this, as far as trophy hunting goes, is that it requires you to win 200 matches for one of the trophies. It requires you to kill 1,000 enemies in multiplayer. And there's no one playing multiplayer, so this platinum trophy is going to be exceptionally rare. Might be impossible unless you find a friend you can boost it with. So, big strike against that. We don't like online trophies. It's okay if they're manageable and easy requirements, but to win 200 matches and kill 1,000 enemies, it's a little unfair. But I do enjoy the game. I do recommend it. Maybe you wait for a sale, but I do think it is worth $60. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Give this game a thumbs up, and we'll see you soon.